Keith, are we getting to the point where it is more difficult to make money shorting the euro? Are there better places to put on shorts? Early look note sounds like consensus has caught up a bit.
Yeah, the consensus has caught up, that's for sure. I mean, but if you look at the CFTC futures and options positioning, that's the other big thing. The easiest time to short the euro is when it was the biggest net long position in the history of the euro in April, don't forget. That's when we first started to get more aggressive with the euro on the short side. Doesn't mean that it's a bad short position going back forever now. I mean, but to your point, we know that after something works from April till December, it's a less contrarian position. But a less contrarian position doesn't mean that something is a less good position. Don't forget that consensus can be right and remain right for fundamental reasons. So just something to noodle over. I short the euro all the time when it gets to the top end of the range. I have no problems with that. Even though consensus has come my way a little bit, the ECB definitely hasn't come my way a lot, which the ECB needs to do. If you look at slide 107, go all the way back. We're going deep this morning. Oh yeah, way deep. We're going to go deep. We're going to talk about tails. We're going to go deep. We're going to show some eye candy on 107. Some of you have been trying to pay for this deck. $16,000 a quarter. We'll give it to you. This is the core of our institutional research business. All right? So I love it when you ask me a short-term question and I give you a multi-duration answer. Oh, you got a short-term question? That's a good question. I already answered that. At 111, I'd cover euros. At 114, I'm a short seller of euros. Euros remain bearish trend provided that the euro remains below 118 versus the dollar. What are the odds of it getting above that anytime soon, anytime over the intermediate term trend, or anytime over the long term? I'd call them low. That's why the euro is in tail risk position. By the way, the tail risk line for the euro is 119. Okay, so here's the long term. This is the long term. Euro. I'm going to show you this one more time with little doodles. Okay, this is the rate of change. This is the rate of change of the core spending population in Europe. Every citizenry has a core spending population that is the age of 34 to 55. Those are the people that have the most money. It's not ostensibly, they legitimately do. They're later in life, and they're engaging in crazy things like marriage, household formation, buying cars, all this kind of thing. All right? So the rate of change for Europe of that core spending population went to its most negative point when Europe was in the last European crisis, which is 2011. Today, right here, 20 and to here, that is going to the worst point in European history. And it's going to stay there. That is a short, okay? You want to talk long-term shorts? So if you go to the back of the macro deck and it says, what's our long-term, best long-term tail risk idea? Short the euro. Yeah, okay? So just make sure that you do all your multi-duration work. I have an in-house demographer who's written 9 books on demography. He's very well adept at these topics. Get smart on this stuff because short-term traders haven't read the books, they haven't done the work, and they don't know how to contextualize their conviction. That's why I go big when I short the euro at the top end of the range. I don't like play with peanuts, okay? So this is not going to change. Time and space will not change. There'll be a lot of things that change in markets, but people getting older in Europe is not going to change. That is with 100% certainty what I just showed you on that chart.
Yeah.
And not many things in macro are.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's why demographics are so valuable, and they matter so much because that's a secular long-term story. Secular means long-term. Secular story of Europe, which is slower for longer, lower for longer, slower and lower for longer, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. When the cycle slows against the secular long-term, a lot of bad stuff happens, which is why a lot of bad stuff has happened to people that have been long euros, European stocks, and Italian sovereign bonds as of late.